So you get there and you start doing, you're just kind of going on patrols. You're going on patrols with the Afghan Army company.
It was kind of interesting, because I was kind of the high-strung one on the team. Like I was like the one that always was, we need to be ready to fight. I don't know how many arguments I got into with some of the leadership in the teams. Because we were a 21-man team, but we were broken into 4-man elements and spread out, in this area. And I don't know how many times I got into arguments with people in the team of, hey, this is how we need to do it. We need to stay up. I was trying to train them. I was doing stuff of, trying to train them to do IVs at night with nods. And they're like, why the hell are we doing this? You know what I mean? And a lot of people, look down on it. And I said, I'm going to prepare to fight. And they said, we're not, so many times the leadership got on me, we're not going over there to fight, we're going to advise. And that was the mindset of a lot of this, and I'm not going to say my team, but a lot of the team. And it showed. Yeah.
Yeah, for everyone out there that's wearing a uniform right now, man, be ready for the worst case scenario all the time. Be ready for it.
You know what I tell them is, I said, Lieutenant Johnson was a comm guy, satellite guy. Doc Layton was a blue side corpsman, and Gunny Kennefick was an S1 guy. And I always wonder, do you think that they ever thought they'd be in one of the deadliest battles in Afghanistan? Do you think they ever thought? They didn't. You don't know where you're going to be at, but one day you're going to be tested.
Yeah.
And you better be ready.
So you guys are rolling out on these patrols. Here's a good kind of aspect of what you see on those patrols. And you called the Afghan Army soldiers Askars, am I saying that right?
Yeah, they're called Askars.
Askars. All right, here we go, back to the book. When we walked into some hamlets, you could feel something was wrong. When kids threw rocks at you, you knew what the parents were telling them. Sometimes the Askars grabbed the kids' soccer balls and sliced them apart. This didn't win any hearts and minds, but it did stop the rocks. Whenever the elders hurried through the ceremonial tea, though, I'd watch the Askars. When any soldier senses danger, he crouches down a few inches to make himself less of a target. When the Askars did that, I went on full alert. Hafez, am I saying that right?
Yeah, so his name's Fazel, so I had named him Hafez in that to protect him.
Got it.
He's here in America now.
Okay, well, good. Hafez was our lead interpreter, and we quickly learned our best warning system. At a 37-year-old sergeant major retired from the Afghan Army, Hafez had served in Kunar for 3 years with advisor teams. The Afghan soldiers distrusted him because he refused to support their never-ending schemes to skim off the Americans. So he's your most trusted advisor. Yeah. Interesting that you point out how when soldiers sense danger, and I was telling you about JP, the lead sniper in one of my 2 platoons in TU Bruiser, and when he came on the podcast, I described him walking through the streets, because like I told you, man, I didn't think JP was going to live because JP was too brave for his own damn good.
Yeah.
But when I'd be watching, I'd be like holding security and watching a patrol go, and you'd see, I'd see guys moving with that little crouch because everyone's expecting that the shooting's going to start, and I'd see JP, man, walking with his head up and his chest out, like ready to get something.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's nice to be 23 years old and not think you can die. So that's my brother JP.
That's awesome.
And the other thing that, when you're in these foreign countries, when you're in Iraq, you're in Afghanistan, the locals, we can't tell the difference we really can't tell the difference between a good guy and a bad guy. Now, you learn some sense of it where you go, okay, that guy looks shady, and you're probably pretty accurate, but a guy like Hafez, he's going to know.
No,
he's going to know.
Instantly.
He was the unofficial 5th member of our team inside a hamlet. If he shook his head at us, we knew it was time to forget the tea and get out. So, how often would you go into a hamlet and the people were cool and all good and drinking tea and?
Most of the time. Look, the people there want it to be better. I mean, they live in the shit.
Yeah.
They live there. They want it to be better. They're just caught in a bad situation. It's not a simple equation. There's nothing simple about the life that they have to live.
Mm-hmm. You made some friends going back to the book. In the hills along the Pakistani border, no Afghan military or civilian had much of anything. I think practically every American soldier or Marine tried to help in some way. We purchased candy and trinkets in the markets to give to the kids. I soon had 2 little buddies, boys about 10 or 11. They'd hang around the main gate yelling, Maida, Maida, trying to say your name when they saw me. At first, I'd buy them Cokes, and then started sharing my care packages from home: soap, candy, peanuts, gum. Maybe a decade from now, some kids remember that some Americans were kind to them, even when their older brothers were shooting at them. Maybe not. You don't help out because you expect something in return. So you're a human being, man. Trying to take care of some kids out there.